Happy, please.
Hello, teacher.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I have just seen you joining. Did you join earlier or you have recently joined?
Just now I joined.
Okay, because I was checking from time to time and there was no sound. So like maybe earlier. Okay. Glad to meet you. What about your friend? Is she going to join us today? Do you have any idea?
Wallahi, I have no idea. I didn't contact her.
Okay, never mind. Then we will start because I don't want to waste more time. So when she comes, she will continue with us. Let's do it this way. Let's start with your homework. Let's start with articles and documentary. Then we can do the listening test. Like we can work on the mistakes. We can check and then work on mistakes. And then we can continue with the vocab. And during this time, if she can join us, she will continue with the same order. Let's start with the documentary. Did you watch the documentary?
Yes, I did. It was about most luxurious prison in the world. It was the prison in Bastøy in Norway. It was a prison on an island named Bastøy. The prison there gave all the prisoners the right to learn new things, like a new job, like mechanical jobs, or like sewing, or like finding their way to actually fit in with society after getting out from prison. And that's what I really liked, because sometimes most prisoners who spend long sentence like 20 years and above, they forget how to blend in with the society, because they didn't live the way that everyone lived, like for 20 years, and that's a lot. Like in prison, they weren't allowed to do much things, like it's only hard work and stuff. But in that prison in Bastoy, they were granted the ability to actually learn things, to start fitting with other people after getting out of prison. And that was wonderful. Like if a prisoner did something bad and he offended someone, he actually get the punishment, but that doesn't mean like he have to spend his whole sentence doing nothing good for his own.
Yes, actually, like I really like the topics you choose, whether for documentary or articles. They're always interesting, and they're mainly unusual, like the things that we are not really used to talking about. But I have a question before you continue with the documentary. What do you personally think? Do you think like after all these efforts, rehabilitation courses, I don't know, this and that, do you really believe that the people, the prisoners who were like separated from the society, kind of isolated for let's say 20 years, 10 years, whatever, they can still adapt to the conditions, the normal conditions of the community, or it's impossible, or it's like very difficult but still possible?
Well, in prisons that are normally don't teach them how to actually blend the people, I think it's impossible for them. It's gonna be really hard time for them.
Okay, so you mean if they don't learn certain skills or if they don't go through the rehabilitation course and so on, they will not be able to adapt later on when they are free, right?
Yes, true.
Okay, but having gone through all these courses, trainings, I don't know, um, taking certain skills and so on, do you think they can still adapt after all of this?
Yes, I believe so. They can.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Okay, because sometimes I think like people when they are free, they go for, I don't mean like those who are there by, I don't want to say mistake, but let's say by unfortunate conditions, because some people sometimes, you just have a car crash. You don't mean to kill a person, but as a result of this car crash, you're sent to prison. Or let's say somebody puts you in a trap and you're sent to a prison, or in banking and this and that, like you can see some situations like this. But in some cases we see people that maybe like they have childhood issues or something, but they really find it difficult to adapt to normal conditions, so they decide to go, through illegal ways, and then they end up in prison. So what do you think about those people? Do you think there can be a turning point in their lives too, and they can make a difference after a while.
Well, in prison, prisoners don't really care about people who they held in. But I think if there was a system and it changed, like if they start actually understanding these prisoners as human beings, not as offenders or killers, I think there's gonna be a change because being in prison is a punishment. Yani taking freedom from someone is enough punishment. There isn't a need for more than that. I think they need a system that helps them to understand their own problems, like a tutor. I think like like a psychology person who helps them through their trauma and stuff. I think.
Okay, so you mean a lot depends on the person involved, like the psychologist or the one who is given this rehabilitation course, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if they touch the right points of if they analyze the personality type properly, they can make a difference. But in case they cannot, in this case, yeah, like I mean it's hopeless.
I think so.
Okay, thank you. And what about the rest of the documentary?
That was it for the
Oh,
documentary. It talked about the prison and the prisoners. That was the whole idea.
okay. That was really unusual and interesting. You know, I wish we could do more things for prisoners, for the old people, for the kids in the orphanage, and for the physically disabled people because it might be really difficult for them to blend in the society or to adapt to certain
That's
rules of
true.
the community. Yeah, like the issues you raise are really important issues. Like I guess every human should spend some time at least um, either doing something for them or at least
Learning
as a
about
minimum.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking, accepting, being aware of them, like they are also there, like us, and they are part of this community. Okay. And one more question. Do you believe like this is also our fault that some of our members, like members of the community, I mean, have to go to prison?
You mean our own fault? Well, I think yes.
As a society. Like, for example, if
Yes.
Jack goes to prison, Jack's neighbors are responsible, Jack's sister, brother, family, friends, they're all responsible because they did not help him on time, they did not stop him on time.
I
Or do
think
you think
yes.
the human being should take his own responsibility because, like, life conditions, like, very hectic. Everybody has a lot to think about, especially in this capitalist world, unfortunately. And we cannot blame other people for not taking enough responsibility for their neighbors or friends or family. Maybe they have their own problems.
Yeah, I believe in that because in the simplest way, like if you live in a neighborhood and let's say your neighbor is poor and they have poor children or something like that, and they start stealing.
Yeah. So you mean it's also the neighbors' fault that they don't really pay attention to their neighbors, their needs, and so on, because we exist as a community. Dr. Bell? Honey, I cannot hear you. Can you hear me? Dr. Bell? Hasena, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think Bell had the internet connection issue. Then I wanted to know if it's about my internet or hers. Okay, she'll be back then. Okay, what about you? Did you do the homework?
Yep.
Documentary, article, listening test?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, okay, amazing. All right, let's start with you then in order to have better use of time. Let's start with your documentary. When Sasabel comes, we'll continue.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, my documentary today about the rubies, which calls the red gold. Mozambique's rubies, Mozambique's rubies. It is a blessing or a cruise. So it's speaking about Mozambique, one of country it's faced poverty and violence. It has even if it has the largest men in the world.
What do you mean largest men? They're tall?
Largest men, like the big mountain, which have many minerals,
Okay.
and these minerals include ruby or rubies.
Okay.
Yeah, or mine. Sorry. M-I-N-E.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
You mean Mozambique is a poor country, right? That's what.
Yeah, it has a largest mine in the world. Even this mine locating. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Before that, I guess I heard a sentence where Mozambique was stated as a poor country.
Yeah, even it's a poor country, but at the same time, it's have a large mine in the world.
Oh, okay. So they have natural resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. So this mine is located of the one of the poorest part of the Mozambique, and how is the security try to control the situation by making artists for the illegal guys. Much of works is done using machines and remove about 3,000 tons of the ore ruins. Conveyor belt to be washed and crushed, and at the end of this process, rubies visible. The more red and bright rubies is that mean the best kind of rubies. Despite this existence of mine and rubies trade, still the town suffers from poverty, and the government declares that the situation will gradually improve, and this will not happen overnight.
Okay. I mean, they need time, but after a while, they will use the resources and they will improve the economic condition in the country.
Yes, yeah.
And what about, is there anything you want to add about the documentary?
Yeah, I want to say that even Mozambique is rich of the rubies, and this leads this poor country to become rich and help poor and poverty people. But this still not happen.
You mean like even if they have a chance, they don't use it properly so that they can get richer?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much, Husseina. What about the article? What's your article about?
Okay, the article it's about astronomer. An astronomer predicts a return to the Stone Age.
Okay.
This is my topic, and here is the article. Because of the increasing population of the earth and the lack of fresh water of drinking and irrigation, and because of the drying up of some rivers, this will cause disputes, and some countries will resort to storing water and withholding it from their neighbor countries. Which this will start the Third World War in the world, and the Third World will take place. This war will be in the nuclear reactors, and then the nuclear dust will be raised and sunlight will block where cold and frost come and darkness to the point that people will freeze from the cold, and from here the future of civilization will disappear. There will be no agriculture, no food, and there will be a famine. At the end of his expectation, he wrote that after a few years, and when the nuclear dust will clear, the sun disk will shine again, life will begin again, and the survivors will rebuild the edges of the earth.
Okay, but what do you think? Do you believe what or do you think it's possible?
Actually, if I heard this before a few years, I would say, no, I can't believe this. But these days, I think it's not far-fetched to believe that.
Okay, I like your vocabulary. Far-fetched. But yeah, with the current economic situation in the entire world, it's hard to have great hopes for the future, but inshallah, things will be fine.
I hope so. I hope so that this will not happen, actually.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Husseina. And Salsabil, I think she's back.
Yes, sorry, my internet went off.
That's okay, no problem. Did we finalize the documentary? I don't remember right now.
Sure.
Yes or no?
I'm sorry again.
Did we finalize the documentary? Like, did we finish talking about the documentary, or we were discussing some stuff related?
Yeah, you asked that last question, and I answered. I don't know if you heard it because my internet went off.
Honestly, I don't even remember my question right now. Do you remember the question?
Let me remember. You said, is it our fault that people committed crime and like stealing and killing and doing stuff like that? Is it?
Yes, to some extent. It's also our responsibility, you said, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then we are done with that part. Okay, let's continue with the article. Husseina talked about her documentary and her article, so now you can talk about your article.
Okay, so my article was about English Day, like the English Language Day. There's a language day for each language, but not all of them. Like there's for Russian, for Spanish, and there's for Arabic, there's for Chinese and other languages. The English Language Day was first celebrated in 2010, like 2010, alongside with Arabic Language Day. And why is English Language Day celebrated on 23rd of April? There's a meaning behind that, because that day was this day was chosen because it is thought to be Shakespeare's birthday, and also the anniversary of his death, as well as being the English language's most famous playwright. Shakespeare also had a huge impact on modern day English. At the time that he was writing in the 16th century and 17th century, the English language was going through a lot of changes, and Shakespeare's creativity with language meant he contributed hundreds of new words and verses that are still used today. Like, for example, the word gossip and fashionable and lonely were all first used by Shakespeare. He also invented phrases like break the ice, all our yesterdays, faint-hearted, and love is blind. All these phrases were actually invented or used by Shakespeare for the first time. So that's it.
That's amazing. I actually know that it had certain phrases, and I guess that wasn't like hundreds, it was like over thousands, like 4,000.
Your voice, I'm sorry.
Right?
Your voice, we can't hear you clearly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact number, but as far as I remember, it's like between 4,000 and 5,000 words that he coined, he created. And that's not only about vocabulary and phrases. Also, there is the grammar structure that was written by him first, and like he introduced to the English literature. For example, when we say my friend, or we can also say a friend of mine. So this structure where we say a friend of mine, that's Shakespearean structure. Like he used to use it in his works. So yeah, he actually contributed a lot to the English literature. Thank you so much, Jessica. That was nice. Okay, now about the listening test that we had, let's check the answers and then we'll continue with the vocab. But first I'll try to find the answers and share the screen. Or maybe I can share the answers in the group. It was test 1, right? IELTS listening. Test 1. Cambridge. Briefly, yeah, okay. So I will share the screen so that we can see the answers. Wherever you have a mistake, you just let me know so that we can listen again and check together. How did we, yeah, okay. Okay, can we see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question, the answer is A, second C, B, D, 4, D, 5, C. From 1 to 5, is there any mistake?
No.
Nope.
Yes? Which
No.
one? No, okay. So number 6, Prescott, that's the name, spelling, but P should be the capital P. 7, the answer is 41. 8 is fountain with capital F. Number 9 is 75, 22, 39. And number 10 is 65. Do we have mistakes from 6 to 10?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Now 11 to 13. The answers are E, F, and H. Order is not important. Just any of these options, like 3 of them are right. If you have picked 3 of them, that's right. Number 14, 250 million. Number 15, roads. If you write roads, that's the right answer. If you write road system, it's still a right answer. But if you write road systems, a road system, or something like that, it will be wrong. So you have 2 right options, either roads or road system. 16 will be too late. 17, school children or boys. 2 answers are accepted if you have chosen one of them. If you have written one of them, that will be right. There's 18 will be 3. For 19, as an answer, you can write boats. You can write pleasure crafty. You can write boats and pleasure craft, like 3 different options. If you have written one of them, that's right. Anything else will be wrong. 20, pilot. 21, if you have written instruments, that's the right answer. If you have written musical instruments, that's the right answer as well. So from 11 to 21, do we have questions or any mistake?
I have one mistake, but I figured it out.
Which number?
Number 15.
15. What have you written?
I couldn't understand clearly, so I wrote, let me check, for the next 5 years.
For the next, okay. So number 15, just mark it. When we are done checking, we will go to the listening test and listen again. I will try to see if we can listen together. If we can do that, it will be amazing. I guess like something is wrong with this app or something, because usually we can do the listening together. Okay, so 15, we will check again. Hosseina, is there any other mistake for you?
Number actually 17. It's wrong number. So I corrected right now.
Number 17 was wrong and you corrected?
Yep.
Okay. At the moment, do you have any question or any mistake till
No.
21? Okay.
No.
All right. So only we have one mistake, number 15, and we will listen to that. Okay. We continue. 22A, 23B, 24C, 25A.
Okay.
For 26, yeah, you have a question?
No.
Yes?
No question. No question.
No question. Okay. So 26, if you write talk, that's the right answer. If you write give a talk, it's the right answer as well. 27, write up work. 28, can choose. 29, open book. 30, closed reserve. For 31, you can write vocational. You can write vocational subjects. You can write work or employment, or you can write preparing for work, preparing for employment. All these options will be right. Okay, now from 22 to 31, is there any mistake?
No.
Instead of, I heard instead of closed, I heard cause. So I wrote it cause, reserves, instead closed reserve.
Oh,
So-
okay, never mind. Sorry, okay. If you want, we can listen to that part again, but since you are like, the pronunciation is kind of similar, cause, close. So I can treat it as right answer, but if in the exam you write something like this, they will consider it as a mistake. If you want, we can listen to number 30 as well. Do we have any other mistake after 15, like besides number 15, till 31?
No, I don't.
Okay, then let's go on with 32. Answer is B. 33, C. 34, history and economics. 35, meeting deadlines for essays. You can write just deadlines. You can write meeting deadline. You can write deadlines for essays, or you can write meeting deadlines for essays. 36, attendance. 37, B. 8, C. 9, B. 40, C. 41, A. So from 32 to 41, do we have mistakes?
I missed 40 only.
You missed which one?
40.
40, okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, so we will listen to 15 and we will listen to 40. So I will stop sharing this and I'll go for YouTube for our link. 1 second, Cambridge. Okay. I need to share this on the Zoom or no, okay, I should. Okay, try this. You tell me if you can hear it or not, okay? When I share. So can we hear?
No.
Is it easy to hear or no?
Actually can't hear.
You can't?
Yeah.
Or, okay. I will try without the headphone. Maybe then you can. Tell me if you can hear.
Okay.
Now I'm without the headphone. Can you hear now?
No, unfortunately.
Still no, right? What is the other way? Okay, let's do it this way. I will listen to number 15 and you will listen at the same time, okay? So I will tell you what they say and we will discuss it if you can hear. If not, like we will listen separately and we will discuss. Number 15. See what they're saying. So here in number 15, but we can see the screen, right?
For me, I can. Bethania?
You can.
Yeah. Nothing. Black screen.
Black screen? You don't see the screen?
No, yes, nothing.
Only the video.
For
Do you
me,
see the
nothing.
question? You
No,
cannot see anything, right? Oh my
no.
God. Okay, then let's do it this way. Open the video, go to minute 9:40 to open question number 15 in your device. Usually when we share this way, like students should be able to see the screen and to actually hear as well. But seems like something is wrong. Anyways, when you open the file, the listening file, you will see question number 15 if you go to minute 9:40. Did you do that?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, so here it says this money was to be spent on improving Sydney's something, but now has been reallocated. So since it's Sydney's, I know that we need to find either a noun or it can be an adjective and a noun because there's no more than 3 words. So we can have either one word or 2 words after Sydney's. So let's listen to this part to see what they're saying. Okay, the money that was meant to be spent on the
Restructure of roads, I think.
restructuring road system, right? Sydney's road system. Instead of, why don't we write restructuring? Because they have written improving Sydney's road system. So it's the same thing, either restructuring or improving about what? Road system. Okay, so we can say either roads as noun, or we can say road system, or if we have adjective, we can add the adjective as well, but it shouldn't be more than 3 words. So if you write roads, it will be right. If you write road system, it will still be right. Okay, is that fine?
Yes.
Okay, now let's move to number 40. The question in number 40 says, the speaker thinks that plagiarism is what? A common problem, an acceptable risk, minor concern, or a serious offense. Let's listen to what they're saying about plagiarism. It should be like minute 22, I guess. Did we listen to this question number 40? The speaker thinks that plagiarism is
A serious offense.
serious
Offense.
offense, like it's a big issue, something to consider. The common problem, it's not something acceptable and it's not something minor, it's a serious case, so it will be D. Okay, if we are done with the listening, I will stop it. Now we can take a break, and after the break, we can continue with the vocabulary and speaking. Did I give anything else as assignment for today or no?
Yeah, that's it for homework.
Okay, all right. So after the break, we'll continue with vocabulary. I'll ask some words and we will discuss. And after finishing with vocab, if we have time, we can choose a topic and talk about that topic as well. Maybe about environment or one of the topics we have previously discussed. It's okay, fine. Okay, we'll take a break. After the break, I'll send the link again.
Okay.
Okay.
See you.
Yeah.